spaceship arrives on Earth. In 1982 in Antarctica, a Norwegian helicopter from a nearby station is chasing an Alaskan Malamute dog. One of the crew members tries to kill the little dog.
No, God!
But fails because of his terrible aim. Meanwhile, the members of the American Research Station 4 are chilling out, with one of them playing chess. The helicopter arrives at Station 4, still chasing the dog. The station members notice the Norwegian helicopter. The Norwegians land and try to throw a bomb at the dog, but the idiot drops it. The American station members don't understand what the Norwegian is saying, and he shoots at the dog, but accidentally hits a man named Bennings instead. One of the Americans kills the Norwegian, and so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. The Americans think the Norwegian was just suffering from snow dementia. They then treat Bennings wound. The Americans try to communicate the incident by radio, but the device doesn't work. Because of this, the Americans want to go to the Norwegian station to find out what's happening. The pilot McCready takes Dr. Copper with him. Meanwhile, the little dog goes into someone's room. Mac and Copper arrive at the Norwegian station and realize everything is in ruins, with no signs of life. They find someone frozen with their neck cut off.
God, what the hell happened here?
Copper collects videotapes and documents, and Mac discovers a large block of ice. They then find a charred humanoid creature with two faces. Mac and Copper return to the station with the body they found.
Blair, I'd like you to start an autopsy right away.
Blair performs an autopsy. However, the only thing he discovers is that the creature's organs are those of a normal human being, so they store the corpse in a storage room. That night, a man named Clark takes the dog to the other station dogs. As he leaves, the dog transforms and the other dogs become frightened. When Clark hears the barking, he goes to check it out. Two dogs escape and the monster is locked in. Mac hears the noise and alerts the others. He sends for a flamethrower, and the dog-turned-disgusting monster starts eating the other dogs. Mac shoots it. The creature tries to flee. A man named Childs arrives with the flamethrower and burns it. And that's the end. They killed the monster, and that's how the movie ends. Wait. Dr. Blair now performs an autopsy on the monster and discovers that it's an organism that can perfectly transform into other life forms, i.e. a shapeshifter, assimilating all memories, appearance, learning, and abilities of the victim. The doctor asks Clark what the dog was doing before entering the kennel. Clark tells him that it was wandering around the station and that he was with the dog for about an hour. Then they watch the Norwegian videos to see if they can find a clue. The video shows that the Norwegians found something buried in the ice and blew it up. Mac, curious, heads to the site with Norris and Palmer. There they discover that the Norwegians found a spaceship. Norris estimates the ship has been buried for about 100,000 years.
Those Norwegians blew it up. Yeah.
They return to the ship and tell everyone about it. Although Childs doesn't believe what they're saying,
I just cannot believe any of this voodoo bullshit.
Later, according to Blair's investigations, it's likely that more than one of the station members could be infected by the organism. If the organism reaches civilization, it could infect the entire world. The others store the corpse, but it moved. After that, Fuchs tells Mac that he found Blair's notes and tells him what he discovered.
There is still cellular activity in these burned remains. They're not dead yet.
Windows goes to the storage room and discovers that the thing has trapped Bennings. He tells Mac and Fuchs, but when they go look for him, he's gone. They see Bennings running in the snow, but it's not him. It's the thing, so Mac burns it. Gary asks Mac what's going on. Mac tells him that wasn't Bennings.
McCready, I know Bennings. I've known him for 10 years. He's my friend.
Well, it was. They incinerate the body and everything that was in the storage room, just in case. After that, Mac sees Blair running out.
Blair?
He follows him, but Blair is insane and starts hacking at all the machinery at the base with an axe. Childs says he disabled the helicopter so no one could escape and killed the other dogs. Childs tries to talk to him, but Blair shoots at him and runs out of bullets. The others restrain Blair. Later, they lock Blair in the shed. Blair warns Mac to be careful of Clark,
And watch him close, you hear me?
since they don't know who could be infected. Dr. Copper comes up with a test to compare each member's blood against the uncontaminated stored blood. But they discover that someone destroyed the blood reserves.
Aw, for the love of crud!
Gary and Copper were the only ones with the key. The others start to distrust Gary. Windows gets scared and runs off, looking for a shotgun. The others arrive to calm him down. Gary assures that he didn't get near the blood. To gain their trust, he hands over command to Norris. But Norris doesn't want it. Childs wants it, but they don't let him, so they give command to Mac. After that, Mac says on his recorder that before transforming, the thing leaves torn clothes, and Windows found some torn clothes, but they don't know whose they are.
Nobody trusts anybody now.
Later, Fuchs suggests that each person makes their own food and eats out of cans to avoid contamination. Then Fuchs sees someone passing by.
Who's that?
He checks to see who it is and finds some of Mac's torn clothes. Mac and the others look for Fuchs. Mac asks Blair.
It ain't Fuchs.
Blair asks to return to the base, but Mac doesn't let him. Mac, Windows, and Knowles find Fuchs' burned corpse. Mac says maybe he burned himself before they found him.
Maybe he burned himself before it could get to him.
Windows returns to the base, while Mac and Knowles investigate the cabin when they see lights on. Meanwhile, the others start boarding up when they don't return. Knowles returns to the base without Mac, since he found Mac's torn jacket in the cabin, which scared him, so he returned without him.
McCready? He's one of them.
Mac arrives, but they don't want to let him in. Mac enters through a window in the other room and keeps the group at bay with dynamite. At that moment, Norris seems to have a heart attack. Dr. Copper tries to resuscitate him, but Norris' stomach opens up and he cuts off Copper's hands.
Clear! Clear.
The thing transforms, and Copper sets it on fire. Although the thing transforms and tries to flee, they discover it and Mac burns it. After that, Clark tries to kill Mac, but Mac reacts quickly. Mac comes up with the idea to take a blood sample from everyone. Mac hypothesizes that each part of the thing could be autonomous and have its own survival instinct, and he touches them with a hot wire, reasoning that the infected samples will react by trying to protect themselves from being burned. Mac tests Windows' blood, and nothing happens. Then his own blood, and nothing happens. Then Coppa's blood, and nothing happens either. With Clark's blood, nothing happens either. When he tests Palmer's blood, it reacts. The thing starts transforming. The flamethrower doesn't work, and the thing kills Windows. In the end, Mac burns Palmer. The thing goes towards the snow, but Mac blows it up. The thing is transforming with Windows' body and Mac burns it. Then he tests Knowles' blood and nothing happens. Then Child's blood and it's fine. And finally, Gary's blood, he's also human. After that, Child stays on guard while the others go to test if Blair is human. But when they arrive, they realize Blair has escaped. In the shed, they discover a tunnel where they find a small spaceship that Blair was building, which he made from parts of the helicopter.
Smart SOB, put it together piece by piece.
Knowles sees Childs come out. The lights go out. Mac says the thing wants to freeze itself, to come out when it's discovered again.
Whether we make it or not, we can't let the thing freeze again.
Mac blows up the spaceship. Mac, Gary, and Knowles decide to blow up the entire base, so the thing can't escape and dies in the explosions. They go to the generator room and discover that the generator has been sabotaged.
We gotta bring this whole place right down into the ice.
They place dynamite everywhere. Then the thing, transformed into Blair, appears and kills Gary. Knowles saw something and goes to check it out, and Mac realizes Knowles is gone. He lights a stick of dynamite, and then the thing attacks him, transforming into an enormous, disgusting creature. Mac throws the dynamite at it and blows it up. Mac sits down exhausted, and Childs appears. Childs says that while chasing Blair, he got lost in the storm. Exhausted and freezing to death, they recognize the futility of their distrust and share a bottle of whiskey. Did the thing die, or is one of them the thing? Who knows, because that's how the movie ends.